I will never forget who this victory truly belongs to. It belongs to you. It belongs to you. I was never the likeliest candidate for this office. We didn't start with much money or many endorsements. Our campaign was not hatched in the halls of Washington. It began in the backyards of Des Moines, in the living rooms of Concord, and the front porches of Charleston. It grew strength from the young people who rejected the myth of their generation's apathy. It drew strength from the not-so-young people who braved the bitter cold and scorching heat to knock on doors of perfect strangers. You did it because you understand the enormity of the task that lies ahead. This victory alone is not the change we seek. It is only the chance for us to make that change. And that cannot happen if we go back to the way things were. It can't happen without you, without a new spirit of service, a new spirit of sacrifice. For even as we celebrate tonight, we know the challenges that tomorrow will bring are the greatest of our lifetime. There's new jobs to be created, new schools to build, and threats to meet, alliances to repair. The road ahead will be long. The climb will be steep. We may not get there in 1 year or even in one term. But America, I have never been more hopeful than I am tonight that we will get there. I promise you, we as a people will get there. America, we have come so far. We have seen so much, but there's so much more to do.
In 1990, the Burmese people democratically voted overwhelmingly for Aung San Suu Kyi to lead their country. Burma's military regime has never honored the result of the vote of its own people. Why is an army of 400,000 soldiers so afraid of one woman? Is it because she might bring freedom of choice? She might allow freedom of speech. Or she may develop something as uncontrollable as education. Worst of all, she might bring freedom, justice, and hope. On May 30th, 2003, Aung San Suu Kyi was arrested by the army and imprisoned. She is now under house arrest.
Those who have already been in a Burmese prison know that any day they're liable to be put back there, and yet they do not give up. The young people seem to depend on our organization to ensure a future for them, for us to nurture them and to give them every chance we can that they may be able to make something out of their lives.
Support Aung San Suu Kyi. Free Burma. Free your mind.
At this point for me, if I didn't have a chance to give back, I don't think I'd be doing this anymore. This is going to be my 5th Olympics, and it changed a very long time ago for me that it had to be more than just, riding my bike fast or skating in circles. I really felt, even as a young person, that I wanted to have a positive effect on the human condition and maybe shift the suffering a little bit in the world, and in Canada with young people, and share this amazing thing that I've discovered in sport and the Olympics and the Olympic movement and everything that I've learned as an athlete. I just feel like it's not enough if it's only for me. Right to Play is something that continues to motivate me and inspire me and basically keep everything in perspective, because I'm able to work with an organization that literally is changing the lives of children in the third world. For me, I'll just never forget seeing the joy in children's eyes when their own personal struggle due to demographics, poverty, disease, just basic life situations, when they were transformed from struggle to joy. It's something that I feel sport really gives me, and that's why I connect to these programs and continue to contribute to them and spread the word of these fantastic things that are changing lives.
One day I was going around in the village and I met this woman making bamboo stool, extremely poor. So she explained to me that she makes only 2 pennies a day. And I asked, how much does a bamboo cost that you have to borrow money to buy bamboo? She says, about 25 cents. And I thought maybe there are other people like that. She may not be the only one. If we allow to let people bring out their capacity, there's no reason why anybody should be poor. Because the capacity is in the person. When individuals get activated in solving their own problems, that's the best way to go. When she's in charge, she's in the driver's seat of her life, she'll get where she wants to go. You don't have to worry about it. It's about changing people's life.
I am talking about gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender people. Human beings born free and given, bestowed equality and dignity, who have a right to claim that, which is now one of the remaining human rights challenges of our time. Some seem to believe it is a Western phenomenon, and therefore people outside the West have grounds to reject it. Well, in reality, gay people are born into and belong to every society in the world. They are all ages, all races, all faiths. They are doctors and teachers, farmers and bankers, soldiers and athletes. And whether we know it or whether we acknowledge it, they are our family, our friends, and our neighbors. Being gay is not a Western invention. It is a human reality. Now we must go further and work here and in every region of the world to galvanize more support for the human rights of the LGBT community. To the leaders of those countries where people are jailed, beaten, or executed for being gay, I ask you to consider this. Leadership, by definition, means being out in front of your people when it is called for. It means standing up for the dignity of all your citizens and persuading your people to do the same. Be on the right side of history.
Every toy soldier I put to war when I was just a boy. I had no idea where I was going, or I was built for more. I saw a man on TV he had lost. Some limbs is a younger brother and his heart. 'Cause we need a leader, someone to be our hero. making decisions, but never have to know. And everyone's got reason.
Tonight, we can stand before you free.
To move forward, you have to give back.
I had a charity sale where I sold all my clothes.
I bought the shoes and I really loved them, and I kept them in my bedroom. And when I got really, really depressed and I couldn't find anybody to talk to, I took the shoes out and I
Stood in my shoes.
So everything that she has touched has turned to gold.
She's been named one of Time Magazine's 100 most influential people in the world. The Oprah Winfrey Show is the highest-rated talk show in television history, with an estimated 44 million viewers a week in the United States.
She did occasionally make mistakes. She had an author named James Fry on, whose book turned out to contain lots of exaggerations and fabrications, but she apologized for that in a subsequent show, and I think that's the key. What is it that separates Oprah from the ordinary talk show host? She has this trust, this intimate connection with the audience, because she talks about her own mistakes, as well as providing a kind of a sympathetic platform for other people, famous and not so famous, to talk about theirs.
She has been so successful. She's so relatable. She's always let us in.
Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them, but the only thing you can't do is ignore them. Because they change things. They push the human race forward. And while some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.